Next on the agenda is reorganization of the board. So I'm asking for any nominations for board president.
I would like to nominate Ryan Murphy.
Okay, so we have a nomination by Mr. Harvey and a second by Mrs. Quinn. All in favor? Aye, okay. Mr. President?
Now we will take nominations for vice president.
I'd like to nominate Tim Harvey for vice president.
I second that. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now we'll, nominations for secretary.
I'll nominate Mr. Aaron.
No.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, good deal. Y'all good?
Who did the second?
I did.
All right, the recognition, she's not here, I guess.
She won't be here until the next board meeting. Talk to Judge Martin. He's gonna swear her in tomorrow at 3:30. He couldn't do it today.
Okay,
And it was because of his schedule, not because of her. She was
Gotcha.
there at 12, but he was not there.
okay. Okay,
All right,
we'd like to,
go ahead. Establish a quorum and we're good. Approval of the agenda, everything good on that agenda? Good.
sir?
All right. Approval of the previous minutes. Any additions or corrections?
We need to vote on the agenda.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'm gonna motion to approve the agenda as written.
I'll second it.
Judge Quinn? Yes. Shelton?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Newman?
Yes.
Harvey?
Yes.
Carroll?
Yes.
All right. Now approval of the minutes of the previous meetings. If there's no additions or corrections, we'll entertain a motion to accept them as read.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Director Harvey?
Yes.
Carroll?
Yes.
Newman?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Shelton?
Yes.
Quinn? Yes.
All right, information.
Okay, we'd like to recognize Mr. Harrell, Director Harrell, because he was recognized at the Region 9 meeting by ASBA. So we wanted, they didn't get your pen. I was supposed to have his pen, but I didn't get it. So I was gonna pin him tonight. But I do want to recognize him for being chosen as one of the outstanding board members.
Good deal.
I want to give you an update on the facilities. The storm damage, Baldwin and Shell has now started the repairs. On the elementary, it was a total of $91,000 of damage, and that's less the $5,000 for the deductible. So, or a total of $86,086 is how much the claim is worth. The actual part that Baldwin and Shell is repairing is $62,166, and they have started on that work down here at the elementary school. And we went to court on the 23rd of October about the Terminex case, and the judge will render his motion probably at the end of November, because he told us it'd be within 30 days. So that'll be next week sometime. Terminex had put in a motion to have it dismissed, and he said then he would give us a date for mediation following that motion. So, and also, for our facilities, the Campbell Law Firm has spoken with William about doing a documentary of the high school with the Terminex in order to help the case. So he has been in contact with William about that. And so he kind of want to recreate that whole scene of moving out the building and all of that. And so those details are further down the line, because he thinks it would be helpful for any for the litigation purposes for us to do that. Also want to give you an update on academic progress. This is something that I assured you all that I would be doing once we had hired our consultant. We hired him and approved him for $800 a day. As you know, that's pretty standard for a consultant, but I must say that Mr. Nelson and I have worked together, and actually he's doing the work for $650 a day. And he actually comes in and on days, and he does not charge me every day that he's in the building, because he is respectful of us trying to save and manage our money. So he's been really good about working with us on that. If you return to behind the reports, you see CB Part T. This is one thing that he has put together for us for our math and literacy. And this report allows us to track where students need to be. We have purchased, which we already had it at the Renaissance at the elementary, but we purchased it for the high school as well. And this report allows us to track month by month the progress that we're making. So that's why you see that green. There's meaning we're making progress. You see some that have red and some yellows, and we're monitoring those areas. And I've had meetings with the principal to make sure to find out what is going on in those areas that we're not making the progress that's needed, because you see the target scale score range where we need to be at the end. If you see some of we're already making progress, we're there. We just got to make sure we continue to monitor that and watch that, and that's what I do. Mathematics, October, if you turn to the next page, you see Brinkley High School. When Mr. Nelson met with me, probably about a week or so ago, he felt like he wasn't getting as much progress as he needed at the high school. So I met with the math team myself and just to figure out what are the barriers, what's the problem, why we're not testing the kids, why we're not doing what the consultant has asked you to do. And so we talked, and since then these kids have been tested, so I have to get this updated scale score for them to figure out what's going on with that. And so they've been tested, and like I say, you can see the green. They're making progress. High school's still not making sufficient progress like we want them to make. So we came up with some action plan and some steps when we walked away with the meeting for them to have some commitment, and this was with the math. I'm still waiting on the literacy data as well. But if you flip over, it was only a 22% change, 7th grade. 8th grade was 7%. It didn't have enough for 9th and 10th grade data. The data was insufficient. But this is something that I'm going to track month to month to make sure, and I'm having personal conversations myself with teachers to make sure that it's not optional. You have to be committed, and this is what we're doing. And everybody get on board. So, you know, and so.
Is that target scale score, is that a state?
Yes, it's,
Kinda,
we
you know,
have
looking at
this
average,
aligned. Yes,
yeah.
we have it correctly aligned. Last year, we figured out that the Renaissance system is a good system to align with the ACT Aspire, but the scale score was too low. So we have appropriately aligned it this year and have it in the right range. So we can meet these ranges and stay there, and we're tracking kids individually as well. This is just an overall picture for you to see, but I also have a document that I created on a spreadsheet where I can see individual students and their movement, and I can say, hey.
It shows positive here that things are
Yes,
moving up. And
they are moving
because
up.
As they get older, that's where it's gonna start, you know?
Yes, and that's where we have to make sure that we continue to monitor that. And like I say, I'm monitoring it personal. Myself and Mr. Nelson is making sure I get these reports, and he's making sure if he's having some resistance with people, he's making sure to keep me informed on that so I can help eliminate some of the barriers. State auditors will be here starting next week. I have been already pulling documents. They gave us 4 pages of stuff that has to be pulled, and we're still in the process of pulling things. We have a long way to go, but it is what it is, and I'll keep you all abreast of what's going on with that. But they are, she will be in the district starting tomorrow.
Good deal. Any questions on that? All right, financial.
The beginning balance is $1,069,191.79. Receipts from prior months, $301,793.72. Current month receipts, $670,586.64, which gives us a total available of $2,041,572.15. The expenses from the prior month, $421,153.01. Current month expenses, $389,609.66, for a total deductions of $810,762.67. Available in operating, $1,203,809.48. The building fund currently has $638,613.16. The food service has a negative $12,557.51. And of course, it is negative because we have not received all the money from the State Department. Federal fund is negative $48,410.53. That is negative because we have not received all the money from the State Department. Our activity fund is $52,005.50. Cafeteria fund has a negative of $14,352.31. That's because we have not received our money from the State Department. Which leaves us a total balance of $1,819,107.79.
And to help you all, for the new board members, understand the negatives, it's gonna always run like that because the State Department runs behind sending the money, and they only send it certain times of the year. So it always run like that.
Can I ask what the activity fund, what kind of, what that fund is?
Yes, this deals with our sports, this deal with like, class funds, you know, like senior class, junior class, all of those funds, as well as cheerleading, all the athletic funds and things of that nature. Mhm.
Any more questions? If not, we'll entertain a motion to accept the financials.
I make a motion to accept financials.
Second.
Director, King, Shelton.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Bradford.
Yes.
Hodges. Harris.
Yes.
All right, action items.
Okay, yes. I need you all to consider Brinkley High School discipline policy change. Yes, we sent out the policy books, but the State Department sent a letter that Brinkley had violated the policy, and they pulled this information from eSchool through our Cycle 2 reports where we are sending children home. It was like steps. If you notice on your policy, it says tardies. If you notice in the old policy, it had like the 6th tardy kid was OSS, 7th tardy out of school suspension. That's what that is. So they said we cannot do that for any type of truancy issues, that we had to update the policy, that we had to remove that language, and that we have to put something else in place. So we routing those students to detention and being more aggressive as far as calling parents and things of that nature. So you'll see that with the tardies, you'll see that with the skipping class, and those are the ones that affected, and the leaving campus or designated area without permission. Their stance is, why would you send a kid home for wanting to be at home or for wanting to skip school or being tardy like that? So they said come up with another way to deal with that. And so that, like I said, that has to be changed per State Department regulations because we did get cited for that.
The new policy, is this kind of like a, does the state have like a standard that's, they kind of go by? Is this kind of?
Yes, it's in line with that, and we made it more progressive, meaning that is, I mean, it takes a lot of steps for a kid to get sent to ALE or something like that, but they're not getting suspended at all. We removed that language on each one of them.
Any more questions? If not, we'll entertain a motion to accept these changes to the policy.
I second.
Director Hardy?
Yes.
Hare?
Yes.
Ledford?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Shelton?
Yes.
Queen?
Yes.
Okay, also, I want you to consider, you all had entered into an agreement with Jim Master, I guess, 2 years ago. Now we're down to the third payment of $8,600. The total amount was $2,500, $25,800. Well, we look back at where we had been taking the money from previously, it was being taken from the gate money. As of right now, the gate doesn't have that much money in it. So I'm asking that we pay it out of building fund, and then when basketball season accumulated stuff, we can put that back into the building fund once we get that money, because they want their payment now. And like I said, it's just, you don't have that much money in the gate. So I don't like to touch building fund money without you all's knowledge of that.
That's the third payment, that's the final
That's
payment?
the final
That's
payment.
for you guys don't know, it's for that floor, where they redid the floor in the gym. And we
Yes.
redid all that, made it, that's what that is.
Thank you, because I was about to ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
I figured y'all probably, I
about
could
to
see
ask
you
what that
thinking
was.
over there.
For that
Yeah,
gym
that's
floor.
Scrooge. Let me know what that is.
Uh-huh. That's what that is.
Any more questions? Entertain a motion?
So moved.
I second.
Director Williams?
Yes.
Williams.
Well, me, I'm sorry, yes, I'm sorry.
Mix it up on us.
Shelton? Yes. Queen?
Yes.
Ledford?
Yes.
Hare?
Yes.
Hardy?
Yes.
Sweetheart, you gotta speak up a little bit louder sometimes to get a little.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Just think about spending that
I
money.
know.
Yeah, that kind of get me too.
So I see, we ain't got no,
I do have some recommendations for you all to accept the resignation of Billy Sherman, effective November the 26th. And we are now advertising for another custodian, but he's put in his resignation.
Make a motion, we accept it.
I'll second.
Director Hardy?
Yes.
Hare?
Yes.
Ledford?
yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Shelton?
Yes.
Queen?
Yes.
All right, is there anything else? Y'all got?
Adjourn.
Second?